C'est bon. You're ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm ready.
Good.
Let me put it on. Oh,
Because-
never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter. We're already live.
It's too late.
It's
We
already
are?
live. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Right
What's
on.
up, guys?
What's up, guys?
Oh, kinda down.
Yo, yo, yo.
It is live. Sorry for the confusion. Hello. What's
First
up, everybody?
timers.
Wow. Noobs.
Thanks, everyone.
No, I went live on purpose before I told you guys. I wanted to catch you off guard.
Mm.
Good thing I didn't have my finger in my nose.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyler.
We're lucky.
So tonight, guys, we are doing the Family of Light Roundtable. Kate, Alara, Aaron, and I are all speaking on the first night of the conference. It's a mind, body, spirit conference. Friday night is the mind, Saturday is body, Sunday is spirit. And I guess my first question to Jayse and Alexis would be, why do you think we're not spiritual enough to speak on Sunday?
It's like a linear progression, It
That's
just
funny.
I guess we got to end with body then. That must be the most advanced.
Yeah.
Totally.
It makes it up.
No, but that is true. We're all speaking on Friday evening or Friday night or Friday, whenever. I don't even know the schedule. But
Yeah,
Friday.
it's Friday evening.
You know it. You got it.
Yeah, you guys are the Friday lineup.
Yes.
You guys are the highlight. You're the Friday lineup.
I don't even know how it became mind, body, or mind, spirit, and body in a way, but it was part of the intention. So
It just kind of happened.
we know that particularly you and our friendship and how we kind of interact is a lot more in the mind and in the spoken realm, and more about thought and more about processing thoughts and conversation and so on. And that's kind of what we do on the online presence, I feel like, together. So I think my mind is constantly being stimulated by the conversations and the topics that you guys bring up to our community. So that's why we wanted to place you on the mind day, I guess, on the first day. But then you can enjoy Spirit Day on your free time, and then Body Day on your free time too, which you can enjoy and really, settle into those blissful sides of yourself too, because we know that about you personally. But I'm glad that we're going to get to do that together and kind of have at least somewhat of a theme each day to kind of set our intentions for. But it's not that serious.
Yeah, the mind, body, spirit theme just kind of came together randomly. Like I had already, had everyone chosen for who wanted to come and who was going to be presenting. And then it just kind of naturally seemed to fall into that structure of, there was a group of people, you guys, who were the disclosure advocates and who were, the experiencers and talking about bringing this stuff to the what I would consider the mental side of disclosure, like the understanding of what's happened in the history and the lies and the truth and all that kind of stuff. And then some people fell really well into that galactic spiritual category, like Rion and Alexander. And then other people fell really naturally into the body kind of stuff. So it was just it seemed right. It seemed like it's what it was supposed to be.
So
Yeah.
we hope you're going to have fun on the other 2 days when you're not having to speak. And
I have fun every day, but
yeah.
See, I'm glad you said something, because I thought Spirit Day we had to wear our school colors.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're a cheerleader,
do.
you have to cheerlead too. So.
I'm just there for I need to learn the sexual kung fu. This is fascinating. I'm very excited about
yes.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's really
Learn
cool.
it, but not use it ever.
Huh? Right.
Who's
There you
who's the mascot for Spirit Day?
I think one of our, if not as many of our animals we can bring. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I keep
Bring
telling
all
them,
the
I'm like,
animals.
there's a lot of people coming, and because they're so bored and we've been working so hard, and we're just like, you don't understand what's about to happen when so many people are going to be in town for a minute here.
Yeah.
Look, they hear you. They're already.
I know. I was gonna say you're talking about the dogs on the
I know
start.
you're
I
talking
know.
about him.
I think Jasper wants to be the mascot right now. He's winning. Yeah.
So tickets are still available.
Yep.
You guys have any any flash sales going on right now? You guys are always
Yes.
throwing out all kinds of deals. So
Great question. So just for the viewers for the show, we put out a special 10% discount on both the 3-day passes and the live stream passes. So we are kind of getting down to the wire of if you're going to actually come out and you're traveling, and you want to do that, I would do it ASAP so you can book your lodging and all that. And then for the people that aren't able to make it out, the live stream is going to be awesome. And it's, 3 days of about 8 hours a day or more of speakers and other material. So we have it 10% off. So it's normally $111. It's $99 for the live stream right now. So 3 days for $99 is a pretty awesome deal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an affordable
That's an amazing
conference.
deal.
I mean, we've been going to conferences for a few years now, and it's affordable. And it's a lot of new faces, which I'm excited about too.
Especially for a Sedona conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And it is expensive
Yeah.
to stay here, so we didn't want it to also, add too much of the expenses. We did good though. We had to dance the financials of a Sedona, like you said. It is a different market here. It's an expensive venue. Like, it's probably the nicest venue in town. It's
Nice.
very sought after.
You guys are going to love it. There's like,
Yeah.
It looks beautiful
from the venue itself, there's amazing views of the Red Rocks, and there's like, we're going to be inside in air conditioning because it is Arizona, but there is an outdoor courtyard area where, if it's cool enough, we can hang out there.
Yeah.
And there's going to be food, and one of our speakers might even be bringing ice baths for people to do as
Nice.
an initiation.
In the
Yeah.
parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Troy
doing
Casey.
That's
amazing.
I was
It'll be
just
good.
thinking the other
Are we
day
wearing
when-
clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
You wear clothes.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
For the conference. Is that what-
Some may not though. Some may not. I've seen people make those choices,
It's basically like the ice. If you guys aren't familiar with the viewers with the Wim Hof kind of ice bath method, it's basically a way to like shock your system into healing itself in
Wim Hof, yeah.
fast way. So Troy Casey's like all about that. He hasn't gotten us
Lately,
to do it quite yet, but maybe we'll do it at the conference together as a group if you guys are down.
I'm not joking. I might do it. I was just
You
thinking
should.
the other day I wanted to do it for some reason.
It's gonna be intense.
So
It's gonna be crazy.
Kate, what are you going to be talking to us about on Friday?
Well, the bulk of my presentation, I guess I'm going to be going into the subconscious mind and hypnotherapy, past life regression, and kind of a few tips and tricks that have just been helping me along the way. It's funny. I feel like you kind of pick up all of these tools and then you get to the Great Awakening and you're like, oh, this is what these are for. So I'm just putting kind of all of those into one little tight package.
Man, that was a short answer. All right.
Would you like me to elaborate?
No, it's no, I think it's amazing. I'm excited to hear your presentation, especially hear you get into the hypnotherapy stuff because, every time you speak about that, everyone, they all have questions. People want to know about it. And from what I understand, you're pretty good at it. So it's not.
And it's super duper fascinating. And it's like, even if you're not interested in getting hypnotherapy or past life regression, there are certain things that to understand how the mind works in that way that you can help yourself. There are certain things that are just useful to know.
Yeah.
For anybody.
I always thought it was impressive. You're like, I just did a past life regression on myself. I'm like, you did? Like, I didn't think that was something I could do for myself. So
You can't.
yeah.
Everybody but Tyler can.
Yeah. Everyone but you.
But no, like you said, there's things that you could do yourself that we're not even aware of. So it's important to cover that stuff because most people don't know. And we forget there's new people coming into this stuff that are going to be at this conference that don't know anything. They're just getting their feet wet. So
Yes.
it's nice to give everybody, tools.
Right. And there are ways, sometimes there are things that are almost more kind of simplistic that we sit there and fight ourselves with when we don't understand really how our brain works and why we pick up the habits that we have and why we have the anxieties that we do and et cetera, et cetera. So understanding that it's not as complicated as you think, you just have to know the right way to kind of finesse the brain.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to hear. We're excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited for
That's
that.
going to be good.
I haven't heard as much from you about the QHHT material, so I'm really stoked
And
to
I
hear.
love
I don't do
finessing the
QHHT, but I do past life regression. And so,
Oh, right.
but again, I'm learning different modalities and stuff. It's interesting how I was just having a past life regression myself, just a regular old past life regression, like what I do. And I started tapping into alien lives and life's off planet and stuff like that. So I feel like sometimes when your consciousness is ready for that, the past life regression will take you anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Totally.
I agree. Alara, what are you bringing us?
Sorry, guys, they're trolling me so hard in the chat. It was very hard not to laugh just now. I tried my hardest.
Now I got to go look at the chat.
I know.
Oh, dude, just bad talking about. Yeah, so we won't relive it. But what was the question, Tyler?
What's the question? What are you presenting on? What are you going to be sharing with us at the conference?
Basically how science is starting to prove intelligent design and that we have a creator. And so I'll be going into that topic.
Nice.
And yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
Her answer was shorter.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was way shorter. I was when you said that about Kate, I was like, oh, mine's going to be really short.
Just give your presentation right now, Alara.
Yeah.
Right?
Do we get a preview? Like, so what kind
Surprise.
of with your with your research,
It's a surprise.
so basically you're basically proving there's a creator. It's scientifically you're able to prove somehow there's a creator or everything's divinely orchestrated, divine design.
I'm able to lay out a strong case. Yes, indeed.
Yay.
And give quite a bit of sauce for that perhaps maybe didn't exist or wasn't around before, but it is
Nice.
now. So, which is exciting for me because I'm a science geek. So,
And
and
we'll
I
have
know
a-
there,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
just, I know there's a creator. I had the, like I've talked about many times, a very profound experience with this. And so it's one thing to know something, but then to be able to lay out sauce on it, like, boom, this backs up what I've already experienced and felt is, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
And that's perfect. Both that and what Kate was talking about are perfect for the mind day, because it's like bringing these spiritual concepts in, but understanding them from the mental perspective, which is really important.
Yeah.
See, that's what happens when you use the force, Jayse. You know what I mean? When you use the force
Exactly.
with the concert, the conference, it all just worked out. You see?
And the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a concert too, huh?
There is.
Yeah, there's one missing from today. I mean, not all of us. There's one missing of the Friday group. We have our
right.
concert at the end of the day, which is going to be led by our musician friend, one of our like OG homies that I ever met, like one of the first people I lived with here in the US and everything. Like we went through a lot together, and he was born here and now he's back. He just had a child, and he's a very, very talented musician, and he's taught us a lot about herbology too. And he's a rap artist, and he's been through a lot, and he's a very spiritual guy, and he has a good edge to him. And I am excited to introduce you guys to him formally, and our friend Ben.
He's got a song called Adrenochrome, which is off the hook. It's
Yeah.
like the lyrics are
It's really
so
good.
good.
It's
He's
hard.
like an amazing lyricist when it comes to disclosure and bringing in these subjects.
Yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
That's amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need
you like
that
it.
genre added to the iTunes.
Yeah,
Disclosure.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his Spotify's doing well. I'm proud of him. He's especially that song's doing pretty good on there. It's
Nice.
It's a hot
It's cool.
topic.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really
So are we gonna
such
have a
good-
rave?
Yeah, well, the second night, especially Saturday night, and I still think we need more flashing like laser lights and stuff. Like I think we need to add more. I've got a couple, but it's not enough. Like I
You
really
want me to
want
bring this?
Can never
Bring
have
it.
enough.
bring it all.
She
Yeah.
got
Everybody coming needs to bring
Yes.
exactly.
I hope I know how to stop that.
We all have one of those things. Like everyone just bring one of them, and we'll just plug it in and make it as
Perfect.
rave
And
as
also-
possible.
There you go.
If you guys have drums, since you're local, bring some drums, and we're gonna like classic, bongo drums or whatever you got, even if it's a little tiny thing. Because for the dance party, we're gonna like have people drum along with the beats and stuff to make
Yeah.
it like interactive.
Awesome.
Kate,
Nice.
I don't have keys to the drum shed. Do you?
I don't. Didn't
Oh.
the drum shed burn down years ago?
It may have. I'm not sure. So I don't know what
it
we're
at
gonna
least
do.
has rats.
Yeah,
Right.
we may have to go get a new drum.
If you want flashing lights, just go to the Skywatch field at East City for a night There's
There you
those
go.
people going crazy with those lasers.
Yeah, just get a recording of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That quality of laser, maybe we won't do
You
it
guys,
inside.
you just have to record what
Just-
you see when you're there, and then bring it to the gathering, and we'll play it during the rave.
a
We'll
highlight
just
reel.
bring the aliens.
Yeah,
There we
let's
go.
I
do
wonder if
that.
that drives
Yeah.
them nuts, the lasers and stuff. I wonder what they're saying in their ships. Like, oh,
Probably.
these humans again with these lasers. Like,
We gotta
really?
stop flying over Washington.
That's what I think. Yeah, they probably can't
Yeah.
stand us. Yeah. Oh,
They don't. They react though. So it's like if they were mad, why do they power
Yeah,
up
they're
and
like,
react? Like,
ah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Shining these lasers at us.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like, that's a Chinese one.
Maybe those lights
Yeah.
are like an intergalactic way of honking their horn. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not. It's
they're
not.
actually telling us to stop. That's like,
It's not.
we're like
power.
they're powering up. They're saying hi.
It's not.
Probably.
power
We're
up at
like,
all, yeah.
stop.
Somebody said, "Is that Jayse without facial hair?" Yes,
No,
is.
it's Kate. Kate.
Kate now.
whoa, this
Um,
conversation's lit already. This is great. What are we like 15 minutes in? This is
Well,
great.
it's gonna be grown out a little more by the time you guys get in town, but
Oh, thank God.
I
Yeah.
Jayse,
thank
you
you.
look
a
underage.
horrible
Everyone will be
man.
okay. Don't
It'll be
worry.
all different again.
He
We're gonna
does.
be
He
okay.
looks underage.
I know, right? I shaved it off, and every time I went and walked in the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, I look like I'm like
Like
15.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who is that?
But that'll be
12-year-old
good when
kid?
I'm like 50. So
Right.
Exactly.
So,
Like me.
um,
You are not.
Your
you look
beard.
great for 50.
Yeah.
Thank you. And my beard barely ever grows back.
so Aaron and I are actually going to be, just so to give you guys an idea of what we're going to be speaking about. It.
Yeah, wait, Tyler and Aaron, what are you guys going to be speaking about
Right.
at the Family of Light gathering?
Basically
Thank you.
how I'm sick of UFO disclosure, and how this is so much more than that.
Nice.
Nice.
And even
That's a good topic.
even like I want to get into like some of the existence, that the reality of space programs and off planet breakaway civilizations and other races that are here, just things that are going on. Like we're so far beyond the point of UFO disclosure now. And then we got the mainstream going back to square one, like Roswell or nothing ever happened. And they're just like starting over, like, it's like history repeating itself. It's a slap in the face. It's a joke. So I'm going to lay out like, okay, first I want to make it practical and show people how we even got into space and give a timeline. And then we're just going to expand from there and really get into the good stuff. So, and then I think Aaron, you're going to add to that.
Similar. Yeah, we're both basically talking about that. And so yeah, basically we're like, I'm going to be talking about just an overview of the mainstream disclosure, or like what they tell us, which is like not much, and most of it's not true, but yeah, like, oh, we don't know what they are, but they're something, basically, and that's it. Yeah.
Are you going to go through that new release document like word by word and just
Yeah,
pick out how it's all BS?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. No, I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna mention it and just be like, it's not even worth.
And then
reading.
set it on fire.
Yes,
You need to
exactly.
3D print a
Print
mini
it out and set it on
Germain.
fire.
Put the little mini 3D printed Germain on your shoulder and have it. You know what I mean?
You know what I should get
Icons.
Jermaine to go live while I'm talking, and then we can like
Yeah,
talk
there you go.
together.
Yeah.
That's dude, that would be amazing.
Need him to come.
No, but I'm gonna talk about just that, and then be like, but here's what we know based on like 80 years of experiencers, whistleblowers, all that stuff, at least over the last 80 years, and then just kind of give an overview of all that, and then also try to be like, here's kind of the greater. I'm gonna try to shove this into a half hour as much as I can. The greater galactic perspective and story of what is going on,
Mhm.
Nice.
in
Great.
general.
And
So-
that's actually a perfect segue into my next question. So I wanted to ask you guys, like, what is your perspective on what is taking place on the planet right now? Like, because we all know collectively, like we have an idea, but we're all sitting here by ourselves in the shower, whatever. You start thinking about this stuff. Like, what do you guys see happening right now? And each one of you guys can take a turn. Like, what is your perspective on the current state of affairs on this planet?
There's a conspiracy going on, Tyler.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Just one
To
though.
the commander.
Just one.
Just
yeah.
one conspiracy.
It's true. There's one conspiracy.
Mhm.
What do you
wants to go
in a more specific sense? What do you mean, or just?
Okay, so we know the planet's like being liberated, right? Dark to light, everything's happening. Everyone has a perspective. Like, what are you seeing? Like, is all this stuff that's taking place right now? Is this a negative thing, or is it a good thing? Like, how, I don't know. I just was kind of wanting everybody's perspective on the current events, like what's taking place right now.
I think it's so. You go first.
No, are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Okay.
Oh, you go. No, you go.
I
You
feel
hang
like,
up.
yeah, you hang up first. I feel like I've been observing like multiple instances or examples of how what was meant to be a timeline that was playing out for the negative, dark kind of controls have been co-opted and are being now steered by the light. But rather than that old timeline, you know, whether it was the pandemic or ET disclosure or this great reset or whatever it may be, I think that they're sticking with the lingo and the terms and a lot of the same concepts of those darker timelines, but they're co-opted now. So I think that, I mean, that there's a lot of implications of that, but on a kind of spiritual, psychological level of soul advancement, I think what it's doing is it's creating like soul growth for everybody, because on the side of the people who are, you know, blue pilled and are asleep to a lot of these things and are still waking up to, like, say, the jab and you know, disclosure and the fact of the existence of these shadowy groups in general, they're of course getting their kind of awakening with what's going on the planet in a very, you know, rude awakening in some cases. And then on the flip side of things, a lot of the truther people that have kind of gone into the doomer side of things are getting triggered and catalyzed in their own sense. And I mean, like, not anybody here, but like the people who are really starting to go into the pessimistic, like everything's going to shit, like we're all gonna, you know, be slaves of this NWO, and really falling into that like dark timeline. And I think it's catalyzing for them too. So there's like this middle ground where we can see what's going, we can see what's going on. Like we see that, you know, these various things in the world are happening, but we kind of understand that ultimately they are going to work out for a greater good, or at least personally I feel that we're on the optimal timeline, even though in some cases things look a little shaky, but that's kind of what we just need, I think, to catalyze the growth that's necessary for the planet. So that's kind of what I've observed in like across the board and the various areas of disclosure.
That was a perfect answer.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, that was.
Now I'm mad I let you go first.
I'm not following that up. You're next, Kate.
Well, I would just play on that a little bit more and say that I do think it's possible, you know, maybe a lot of the things that we're seeing aren't, we shouldn't be taking them at face value. Maybe things are going on behind the scenes and there's a lot that we're seeing that looks one way and is probably another. But I do think, going back to what Jayse said about, you know, things kind of turning and being co-opted. Have you guys ever, there was a great article, it was actually a Twitter thread that somebody put out last year or 2 years ago on game theory. Did you guys ever read that? It was brilliant and it blew my mind. And essentially in game theory, the good side always wins because the good side has the ethics and the morality that grounds them. So evil will win up front because evil will fight dirty. We won't fight dirty. So they will win some battles up front. But ultimately, it's literally math that the good side, the side with morals and ethics will win. And what I'm seeing, even more so than just in the news or what we're seeing out there play out in my personal life and people that I know personally, trying to still be, do bad things, hurt people, or, you know, not be of the light. And it is 100% of the time turning around and biting them in the butt. And it's happening quicker and quicker. It's like whatever they're throwing out there boomerangs back onto them.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Immediately.
exactly.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instant karma.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
age-
was gonna
Yeah.
say. Karma's so
age-
quick now.
the age of
Mhm.
transparency. You know, we're moving into direct knowing. Skeptics are going to be a thing of the past. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And my favorite part is watching the dark themselves trigger this awakening, because we're uncovering their tricks. We're figuring out their tricks, forcing them to retaliate, show their hand, and therefore sparking an awakening among the collective. And that's my favorite part about all this right now is they're doing it themselves. It's almost like they had us. We were so programmed, right, that they no longer had to program us. We were just doing it ourselves. And it's flipped now. It's flipped now. We don't even need to be here doing this because they're doing it for us. And
It's almost turned into like physical comedy. Like they're the
Yeah.
Three Stooges now.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
nothing goes right.
It's exactly. I said it's like watching the Coyote and Roadrunner, and
Yeah.
the Coyote just fails over and over. It's exactly what it's like.
The best example I think of over and over is De Blasio eating the French fries and being like, "Oh, don't you want some free French fries if you get the vax? They look good." And it's like, dude, like this is a joke, right?
Yeah,
Like
this is
how
the comedy sketch,
The
right?
slapstick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's at those points that you're like, okay, is this really all kind of a joke, or are they being serious? And this is just how transparent things have gotten, that they just look like idiots at this point.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that, Alara?
Yeah, it's just turned into a ludicrous clown show, exactly like you're talking about. I mean, it's just they're giving away weed and donuts.
Yeah.
And
Serious.
$1 million lotteries and stuff in my parents' hometown. Yeah.
Like they're like
Yeah.
you said, Tyler, they're waking everybody up.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it themselves. They're doing a fantastic job.
Well, just
You know
the
what I mean?
fact
I don't
that
think
they're
anyone's winning.
anything that like the government or the media is pushing and it's a free thing to get, like that alone should make everyone
Yeah.
suspicious.
Nothing's
like,
free.
We'll,
They're
you really
giving
think
away
there's no
weed.
agenda other than
we'll even
care
come to
for
your
your
house and
safety.
do it for free. Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't even
yeah.
have to leave.
That's
Can
what
they
like-
even
Knocking on
taste their
doors.
donuts? Don't their taste buds not work anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I saw some
Exactly.
governor. There's some governor. Who was it on Joe Rogan recently? He was bragging about how they're gonna pay every homeless person $50 to get the vaccine. And
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
so they're gonna.
classy.
Yeah.
But that tells you like that tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Like why would they
Yeah.
why would they ever do that unless
The fact that there are still homeless people left
Yeah.
alive is proof. Go out to Los Angeles. If you
Yeah.
haven't been to Los Angeles in a while,
Mhm.
go out to Los Angeles. And I implore you to go into the tent cities of these people all living together in communities. Now, they're not dropping dead in the middle of the street. Do you think they're masking up? Do you think they're using hand sanitizer and distancing by 6 feet? No, they never did.
Yeah.
So
Right. Very
Yeah,
good
they-
point, Kate.
yeah.
And now they're coming door to door like Bible salesmen,
Yeah.
vampires
Trying to-
I like it.
trying to give us the jab.
Yeah.
I mean,
Biden
it's a cartoon, people. This is a cartoon. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is, and it's real life. It's like
Scooby-Doo.
So
It's
we're
a
gonna get to
continual
take a
source of
break.
humor. Yeah,
We're gonna get to take a break from the crazy. I feel like though that's what we wanted to make our conference about, anyways. At least just a little cocoon of safety, and we can be sane together and enjoy our also insanities on our own way. Like we don't have to worry about all the other insanity anymore. Let's get into the real insanity. Let's like dig into the real insanity that lives within us. Like this stuff's just like a big play. It's stirring it up, but there's a lot of work that a lot of us have had to do and do all the time to process emotions and trauma and stuff. So events like this are also nice because it rapidly heals people through these traumatic events, and it's meant to be a loving container so we can breathe and get out of our frustrations in a safe place and then go back out there into the world and just keep like doing what you guys do, which is obviously just like leading the forces against evil all day, which I appreciate because I'm right there with you. Like we're doing it together.
You're the Avengers.
We're awakening. We're bringing the light.
Yeah.
It's the light people. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Is
That'd
Buffy
be
the
a good
Vampire
band name.
Slayer an Avenger?
She can be.
She is now.
She's her own thing. Yeah, she's on the Index. I'm watching
Who?
the Agent Shield show, and they call all those people. They're on the Index.
There's so much disclosure in that show.
Yeah.
Just as a
That
side
show's
note.
amazing.
Oh,
There
interesting.
is.
Buffy?
That show is amazing.
No, I have to watch Buffy, but we're talking about Agents of Shield, and it's on
Oh.
Netflix, and it's like a playoff of the Marvel Avengers guy who got killed, who's like a officer in the secret programs and stuff.
There's a ton of disclosure.
There,
It's
there's a
pretty
lot
good.
of disclosure in
good.
that show. Yeah, it's really good.
So I like that. I like that you used that. I mean, that you said it's like a break for all of us, because it is nice. Like there's something about getting around
Mhm.
all you guys and being around you in person where it's like a weight is off and you're just like, I can breathe. I'm with people that understand me. I don't have to, when we go out in public now, I feel like it's just like I'm literally like in a different world than the rest of the people at the grocery store or wherever I'm going. And I feel like I'm on a different timeline. I don't know. And you don't know who's who anymore. Like, I don't know, this whole thing. Well, that's one thing that this did do is we're seeing everybody's true colors. Like, like the people who are still, people who are still wearing masks are the ones pushing vaccines. It's kind of like, it's easier for you to find your tribe now because this has happened. But
True.
we need a break
Totally.
from all
True.
that. So that's why this is going to be great. I'm looking
And
forward.
last time we were all hanging out together in Sedona, that was pretty epic.
Yeah.
There was
It
a
was
lot
epic.
of crazy,
was.
crazy stuff that happened.
It was.
Totally.
This will be my first time.
Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
Aaron missed out, but he's gonna be in on it this time.
This one's gonna be
Oh my
better.
gosh,
We felt
last
like
get
time
energy
plus
drunk.
Aaron is going to be.
I know.
Someone's gonna levitate. It'll probably be Aaron.
And maybe we'll
Yeah.
see an ant
Yes.
person,
I
Alara.
hope
It's just
so.
gonna float off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't bite her butt again.
It bit my butt.
It bit your butt
I'm
area.
pretty sure you got, yeah, I think you got
Oh,
bit.
are we talking about the ant? I thought we were talking about the bird for a second. I was like, what? You're confusing me, Kate. When did the bird bite my butt? But okay.
Not the bird.
Yeah.
Maybe
The
this
bird
time.
people they don't do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They're very
It's the ant
polite.
people.
It's very rude to do.
Yeah, very rude. They're classic.
Yeah, you're gonna get energy drunk, Aaron. That's what happens when I get around a bunch of light workers. I get all
Oh,
energy
totally.
drunk. Tyler and I have talked about this. Like you just
Yes.
get like I get like stupid and just you get intoxicated from your friends' energy fields. It's
It's
great.
so-
It's the
Oh
best.
yeah.
Coming from a
Especially in Sedona.
Yeah.
The energy there.
coming from like a
Yeah.
party lifestyle, that was the hardest thing for me leaving that life, was trying to figure out how to have fun without alcohol. That was a real problem for me. It's something I struggled with. And I didn't realize that was even possible until I went to my first conference, and you're around all these people and there's this natural high and you don't need any substance, like nothing at all. You don't even think about it.
No.
Like
Yeah.
you're just automatically energized and you're in a good mood. And it isn't until you leave and go back home that you realize how potent it actually was.
Yeah.
And then we always think, man, if we could always all be around each other all the time, but we know we have to go back, be that light anchor in our city, in our hometown, and create that grid until this is over.
Right.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, is like I do think that we are going to someday be building cities with this kind of energy together, where we do come together to build like a community. But
Yeah.
especially during this time period when things are kind of scattered and crazier as we're going through this shift, it's like we really do need to come together, build up this energy in these kind of group settings, charge up.
In here.
And then, yeah, in here and in the solar plexus and in the third eye, the crown, and then go back to our individual locations around the world, and then literally like pump that into the ley lines and create that grid and spread it out over the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
Exactly.
what we're doing. Yeah.
and then do a refresher
then-
about a year later.
Yeah, do it all over again.
Yeah.
Or maybe a couple times a year.
Yeah.
3 times a year in our case. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So something that's been amping up for me lately is my dreams have been just like insanely real. Sometimes I question if it's not real, and it might actually be like another parallel life or reality or timeline or something. Have you guys noticed this also?
Have you?
No.
I've been noticing I've been noticing an increase in
haven't.
dream activity and like weirder, like I feel like I'm starting to differentiate between memory dreams and subconscious symbolic dreams. Like those kind of differences are getting more clear. And like what I notice is that the memories feel like I'm watching a movie, and the subconscious dreams feel more like I'm in it, and they feel dreamy and things shift into other things and things like that. And there's more like random symbolic things that don't make context in terms of like a memory or a regression or something. And then other ones are like very kind of normal, but maybe in like a context that's not normal, like a, SSP kind of context, but they're like, it's like something you could recount as if an event that actually happened. And it's pretty trippy.
That's what I was getting at. I was just wondering if this is happening with anyone else. Alexis gave me the fluoride stare. So,
but you've been having more dreams too.
I said no.
Uh-oh.
No, I kind of had another episode of more dreaming about a month ago, and the last, I would say, couple weeks, we've been sleeping pretty hard. I mean, I have for sure, and I know I'm really preparing for this event, obviously, and it takes on a lot, like the dream time and connecting with you all and meeting people who are capable of doing these dream things. It's a lot. Like I know perceiving and being around people like us too is also a lot to take in, and I psychically pick up a lot on people. So it's like when other people are aware of that and doing the same thing, it's like, so I'm trying to just be peaceful and like grounded and not weird, and just like ground it and just be calm and allow everyone to have a good time. Just be like super grounded.
Yeah. I would ask you, but every time he'll wake up and he'll say, "Man, I had an awesome dream last night, but I don't remember it." I'm like, how do you know it was awesome then?
I
just know it was awesome.
He's just
I almost made a dirty
I remember
joke.
having the dream.
Yeah.
I'll forget it like 2 seconds after I wake up.
You can't say that and then not tell the dirty joke, Kate. Come on.
We'll just use your imagination. It won't be as good as what mine was, but anyway. But no, I know what you're saying, because you'll wake up. Sometimes I know that I had a really scary, crummy dream, because you just feel gross, and someone will be like, "What was it?" I don't even remember.
Yeah, like the feeling you retain that, but then you don't remember the details. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, those very vivid dreams started happening to me before I went to ESETI last year. And I started having these dreams of all of us being together who were going to be at ESETI. And then they continued after ESETI. And now it's starting to happen with all of us here. Like I'm having dreams, like Alexis has been in my dream like almost every night this week. And, we're all together. Yeah. Now that's why you're so tired. Can I have my shirt back, by the way?
Yeah.
So I really feel like we are getting ready to we're getting prepared to all be together and
Yeah. I agree with that.
This is a borrowed shirt.
Last time when I left ESETI, I was having those dreams about still being with everybody, and it was just it's really weird. It's like somehow that place, like energetically, that they like know we're coming. And I even think some of the ETs there, even some of the Sasquatch, whatever elementals are there, I think like what I personally do is I try and reach out. I have been like to any of them that are like ready to connect, like especially Sasquatch. I'm like talking to them in my meditation, saying, "Hey, what's up? I'm coming." And I'm like, "Thanks for letting me spend time in your land," blah, blah, whatever I say at the time. I think that we can all do that. And if you like, you can maybe enhance your possibility for an experience by doing that.
Did you have any Sasquatch experiences last time you were in Sedona?
Not in Sedona, no.
We'll have to take you to the spot that
it's open again.
Yeah, it was actually for the past week or two, they shut down most of the trails in Sedona because of the Arizona fires, but thank goodness they just opened them back up again. So we'll be able to like go on hikes and stuff if we have time. But there's one place in particular that she has gone to a lot and really connected with the elemental Sasquatch beings there. And I think especially you, Tyler, would be interesting to go out there and see what you feel.
Right.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to.
Yeah, it's an easy walk.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
You guys, do you still have Sasquatch Fridays, Alexis?
Yeah, every Friday I talk about them. At least at the house, and I play with the animals and we celebrate, we dance.
What's Sasquatch Friday?
It's based off a dream I had a couple years ago, sleeping out in the rural land outside of Sedona.
Oh, it was here.
It was here, and I had this dream where like an interdimensional kind of Sasquatch youth thing was like popping in and out of whatever dimension or something it was in. It was popping in and out and running circles around me, mad and upset at me because I had forgotten Sasquatch Fridays, and I'm supposed to hang out with them and like pay attention to this being or this friend that is a Sasquatch being on Fridays, because I guess, I don't know, it was just very upset at me that I had forgotten, and it's impacted me, and I think about it every Friday now. So
That's amazing.
That's great.
That's so amazing.
so we play.
What about you, Alara? Do you dream?
Yeah.
Do you dream?
Do you sleep? Do you eat?
Got any
Are you
dreams in
human?
there?
No.
Tell us.
Not
Tell
human.
us.
Ice cream's been, ice cream's been a thing lately. I don't know what it is with
Ice
me,
cream.
but I eat ice cream. Yeah, I eat ice cream in the astral plane. But
Oh.
what I think the whole eating, look, but
I thought you meant
but
in
here's-
real life.
I was like, you're
No,
not
but then I
answering my
do.
question.
Then you
But-
have to
but then
follow
I-
up and eat it in real
No,
life.
yes, that's what I'm saying. So I'll eat ice cream in the astral plane. And I'll be getting down, and I've had a couple times now where I'll think I'm awake, but I'm not, and then I'll wake up and I'll be like, "Whoa," you know what I mean? And then I'll have to go and eat ice cream in 3D. So what I think's going on is like I'm starting to integrate the astral plane with 3D.
Right.
So that kind of touches on a lot of stuff you guys were talking earlier.
That's cool.
Because it's kind of like I'm starting to like Jayse said, differentiate different things. I'm starting to understand what the message was, how that's supposed to work here,
Right.
like seeing things play out, like it's getting to where dreams aren't what they once were when I was a sleeper, which would have been just dreams, right? Like it's getting to where I'm starting to integrate the two worlds, and and the ice cream is a big bonus.
I think
eat it.
this is something
That's
we used to
awesome.
call vegan rage, and it comes from not getting enough from nutrition.
Oh my god.
Your
I eat
subconscious
vegan ice
mind
cream.
is like, you need dairy.
I eat vegan
Dairy.
ice cream in the astral plane, Kate. So your
Well, no
theory
wonder
is,
you're so
is
grumpy.
out.
Alara's
Yeah.
just dreaming of like steaks every night. And she's like, but I
Yeah.
can't do it.
She wakes up chewing on her
Not
blanket.
true.
That'd be awful.
You know, what's funny is I had the opposite. I had this dream where this lady would scream at me and say, "No dairy," and she was just like, looked like the principal from Matilda, if you ever seen that movie.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But,
Wow.
Scary.
but it was like, it was a real thing. It was so, I couldn't get it out of my head. It was like one of my guides or somebody,
That doesn't
and
happen to me.
I'm lactose intolerant anyway, but it was making me sick, and I didn't realize till I stopped drinking it how much better I felt. Yeah, and it was a big change for me. So yeah. That-
Fearless in the chat says that he dreams of water a lot.
did
Like
you- did
being
you
in it
pee
or
his
drinking
bed?
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe both.
Well, it's an
Speaking of
excellent
water-
metaphor.
Do we have a swimming spot there? Because I really want to go swimming in the creek. And I don't
There
think
is.
the creek.
There is many
Yeah.
a swimming spot, and we can
Really?
definitely
We
make
can
that happen.
point you in the right
Okay.
direction.
Yes.
That's what I'm really looking for. See swimming in the creek.
Yeah.
Have you been in the creek before? Here?
Kate took me to a hotel. She took me to some hotel, and then it had a creek. It had a creek and lawn
That's so
chairs and
nice.
sand. It was super cool. Yeah, and I was like, wow. Next time I come here, I got to find a spot like this. And
Yeah.
just kick it.
That
you
sounds
know?
great.
There's a really good spot called Buddha Beach that's right by Cathedral Rock, which is one of the big, like,
Popular.
popular and more powerful like vortex spots here. And it's like straight out of ancient Egypt's like kind of Atlantean feeling, just like super
Oh,
magical
nice.
and like
Mhm.
really, really cool.
I want to go.
Do they have cabana boys?
Of course. Of course. They just kind of come out of the bushes and
It's the
do their thing.
Sasquatch.
yeah.
Yeah.
They just phase in. They're from the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
Right.
The Pleiadian cabana boys.
Oh,
Exactly.
very nice.
I'll bring some ones.
Yeah.
No, they don't use money. You have to tip them with
You have to
something
throw
else.
crystals at them.
Yeah,
Real
crystals.
nice.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm crystal
Monatomic
rich.
gold.
There you go.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, look at those.
Sparkling.
Wow, I got all kinds of.
They have
gold
little
things.
symbols on them. Do those have symbols? Why do they have symbols?
Are they like
No.
runes?
No, I think it was just a reflection you were seeing on
Oh.
them,
Yeah, probably.
unless they were rune stones. Yeah.
Laura was seeing some fifth dimensional codes
Yeah,
in those
what
crystals.
the
Yes.
heck?
Yeah, maybe.
Like getting codes.
Yeah. Well, my whole dream question was basically I was trying to gauge and see if any of you guys were possibly having
Dream-
memories coming back. And Jayse, I guess was the only one it seems like that might be happening with also.
Memories of what?
Just
the
like
time.
maybe an experimental program or a space program or something like
Mm.
how do you know if it's an experience or a memory or if it's a dream? And
Oh,
it's something I'm genuinely trying to figure out on my own. Just even something, that happened last night. I'm like, how, like I could
Or an
say,
abduction even or
yeah, I
something.
could say it was a memory,
Experience.
but how do I know if it's a memory? How do I know if it's just an experience or if it's something that is made up or it's not? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to kind of give a quick example of like recent dreams I had, one I had that felt like a memory kind of thing. And I don't know if when this memory took place, because a lot of this stuff, like as you guys probably know, doesn't really correlate to chronological time. Like it's hard to tell if it's past, present, future, simultaneous. But one of these dreams was like it was like me and other kids or teenagers, and we were basically being tested, but it was like really strange. It wasn't like a normal test. It wasn't like something you would do in school. It involved like a screen and images and words popping up on the screen really fast and moving. And we were given the task of basically coming up with like a number by the end of the little video sequence, but we didn't really get anything more than that. And so it was like, partially it was about like deducing, I think it was testing like how quickly your brain could react or things like that, but it was really strange. And it was like too specific to be something, kind of symbolic. And then alternatively, like in that same week, I had a dream of like a dead black snake. And so to me, that was like a symbolic thing. Cause like I looked it up and that kind of means like something maybe that was a threat in your life has been removed, or like a detox of some kind, like a negative thing has left or something like that. And that felt more like, you can kind of feel when they feel more symbolic rather than when they feel like a physical event that happened. So I still don't know what that experiment thing was, the screen, but it was very strange.
What number did you get?
I don't even remember.
Oh.
I remember being really frustrated because I was like trying to ask them questions about giving me like more insight about what I was supposed to do with the test. And they were basically just like, figure it out. And then at some point in the dream, there was like this strange technology that they used that like, I don't even know how to describe. So yeah.
You know what's interesting? I was actually just talking to somebody about how snakes are also symbolic of parasites. So I wonder if like you got rid of a parasite, and which is also synchronistic to a conversation that Tyler and I had recently about these potential parasites that are living in everybody.
That's really interesting you say that, because I've been consciously trying
conversations.
We've both been like trying to detox from parasites, basically physical, but also etheric, but I think they're related.
Yeah. Me too. I think that when you get rid of the physical ones, you're also getting rid of the ones in the other dimensions.
I'm actually getting ready to start a 21-day cleanse, parasite cleanse.
Wow.
So I'm going to be starting it right before Sedona, actually, just because you have to do it with the full moon.
Right.
Anyway, so because I guess apparently that's all the parasites like run inwards at that time, and then you can target them all that way, and then you start taking your, whatever.
It's some 5D diarrhea.
Yeah.
So you're saying when we're having our full moon dance party, you're going to be having 5D diarrhea.
You're going to be passing parasites.
Well, I've asked other people who've done. They just said you're going to be peeing a lot. So
peeing out of which orifice?
Yeah.
Alara's face.
I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Are you going to be eating or drinking, or what's involved in this, Tyler? I mean, full disclosure.
I still don't fully know. I know there's some drinks that you have to make, and there's some pills that go along with it. But you just have to. It's like a limited diet, a minimal diet every day. But I'm not too worried about it. I'm pretty sure I could do it, and I'm serious. I want to do this, and I'm just going to take advantage of it, and I know I can if I put my mind to it.
It'll be great.
Can I have your bread at the restaurant?
You're just supposed to cut out parasites. Just stop eating parasites.
Stop
eating parasites.
No, it's true. I didn't know that the snake symbolized that though, but I guess a snake symbolizes a reptilian and they're parasite. So.
Well, they're kind of like worms that, like they're one and the same kind of with worms. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a question if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Aaron and Tyler, leaders. Thank you, Kate. I was wondering, what else are we doing, guys? Because I know there's going to be speakers Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and all. But what all? I mean, for the peeps and everybody, and including me, what all are we going to be doing? What kind of happenings are we going to be have happening?
So basically, the way we have it laid out is that when we start every day around Saturday, Sunday, it's around 11 a.m. Friday, we start a little bit later to give people time to get in there. But we're going to have dedicated speaker time where everyone's watching the speakers. And then we're going to have like a 2-hour break in the kind of the middle of the day where we have lunch, and we're going to have food there being made fresh. And then that's also the time to hang out with the vendors. And with Journey to Truth, you guys are going to be doing Experiencer Lounge, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to have that. And this is in like a separate indoor kind of hallway. And it'll be like a place where there will be a couple people doing body work. Yeah, a hallway. I mean, like big
It's like
room.
a small ballroom.
Yeah, small ballroom
Next
kind of
to
thing.
our bigger ballroom.
And there will be a couple people doing body work, and people doing various kinds of like tarot. Like Matthew will be there providing his services. There's going to be some one person is going to have herbs there, and the legal kind, and of course, and there will be a couple other stuff going on in the vendor area. And then every night we're going to have music. So Friday night is going to be the Ben Steezy friend we were telling you about. The Ben Steezy friend. That's a good way to say it.
Ben Steezy friend.
He's the concert Friday night, and he's like conscious rap and hip hop, and talks all about like disclosure and health foods, and
So we'll just be dancing to
everything
that.
we talk about. Yeah, that's Friday.
And it's more mental. It really is a more mental kind of music. So
It's like disclosure music in hip hop rap form.
Puppy,
So it works really
he
well.
got a haircut.
Oh, look at Archer.
Is he
gonna be there?
So
You
handsome.
won't. Handsome. He sucks.
He got his hair
We love
cut.
him.
Got all of his
He's
hairs
so
cut.
handsome.
Oh, sucky
Look at
baby.
him. You can see his face.
I know.
Yeah, no, he was all shaggy and scruffy before.
I loved
Yeah.
him shaggy. I don't like this.
He
new
was
dude.
cute like that. Yeah.
Just
he was
suck.
cute.
So adorable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so we'll start Friday at 1 p.m. and then go into the evening, and everyone go home and sleep and rest. And then you can go hiking if you want in the morning time on Saturday, because
Friday.
we won't Saturday
Oh,
because we will be starting
My
at
bad.
11. And so it'll give you some time. I wouldn't recommend you hike really any other time. The best time to go onto the trails is usually before. Try and get there right before all the tourists, because the parking lots are small and they have been closed down. So now I'm sure there's going to be a bit more of a push. But anyways, get there around like 7 or 6 a.m. and then hike and go see something cool, and then come at 11. And we're having an opening ceremony on Friday, by the way, too. And then we're going to be having yoga to begin. We're going to have yoga with a crystal bowl bath to begin the whole Saturday. So that's awesome. More speakers. Again, the lunch break with the vending as well. And then we're going to be having the dance party, which is going to be, Jayse is going to be DJing it as well with our other friend who's also has moved to town, and his friend is Ryan, but he calls himself Love Sponge, and he's also a DJ, and they're going to do a whole set. And we extended the dance floor time because we want to do it longer, and we're excited for that night. And then Sunday is going to be a similar deal. We're going to start at 11 and around like 8 and have a closing ceremony. And
3
similar
dance
setup.
parties.
Yeah, we're having
Well, they're all
music every
kind
night.
of, there's only one, I would say, dance party. The other two are like live music.
And the Sunday is more of a closing ceremony.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a that's Xavier Hawk and his brother will be hosting that one. And I'm not exactly sure
What they
what
wanna
kind
do yet.
of like instrumentation they're bringing, but I know that they're doing some kind of live music ceremony type thing. So
That'll be fun.
yeah.
Yeah, it will be. Kate, did you have to get going here soon? Are you still good for a few more minutes?
Jeez, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do. Imagine if I didn't, though, and he just said that to me. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
I guess so.
I just wanted to make sure. I was gonna ask.
I have like 5 more minutes, or like maybe 10 more minutes.
Do you have a question?
Do I have a question?
No, it is Kate. First she
I have a
goes.
question.
Or
Or an
Ooh.
answer.
do
on
you
the flip
need to know
side.
anything
Kate,
about the
do you
event that
have a
we haven't
question?
told you yet?
I don't think so. I
Oh, I have a
literally just
question.
show up and I'm like floating on the breeze.
Yeah,
I just,
okay.
when that always happens to me, I'm always hyper aware of things and like very controlling. But I find that when I'm around people that I trust, I kind of like switch my brain off and I'm just like, I'll just follow you. I don't even look both ways when I cross the street.
5:55.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Are there
Hey.
going to be any speaker panels? It's just no panels.
Good
At this
question,
point-
Tyler. Good question.
I had originally thought about doing a panel with you guys, which we could still talk about working into it, but it was one of the things that I chose to kind of cut out to make room for everything else so that everyone had enough time to speak on their own. But it's something we could talk about and maybe throw together.
What if we did a panel and did it on our show?
Sure.
That'd be
go
dope.
live, go
That would be
live
super sweet.
panel. Yeah.
That'd be
Can we
super
do a
sweet.
panel where we get to
Yeah.
bitch about disclosure? Because that would be lit.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's what I was
We-
thinking. Is it'd be pretty funny to get all of us together.
And just
Wait, if we-
roast.
If we do that, we got to get Jermaine
Yeah, for sure.
live
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, we got.
Dude, can we just make
gotta
like a
get Jermaine.
GoFundMe and to fly him
Yeah.
out?
Like,
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Can we
That's so
get Jermaine
sweet.
at this conference?
I'll pay for him. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, we'll have to everyone call him after this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be awesome.
We'd love to have him.
Like, Jermaine, you got.
All right. Kate, if you could bring one junk food with you, one junk food item with you to New Earth, what would it be? But
Oh.
upon its shift, it's no longer junk food and it becomes healthy,
Ooh.
and you could take it with you.
Oh,
Oh,
dangerous.
oh.
Doritos.
Doritos.
Oh,
Nacho cheese Doritos.
Mm.
Like I saw
I
that in my
5D
mind before
Doritos.
she said that.
5D Doritos.
Doritos with the cheesy
Doritos.
fingers,
just
and I
hear
was
it?
like,
Did you hear Alexis? She said she saw that in your mind before you said
It's
it.
like, really? I was
No
like, it's
way.
Doritos.
oh
I
my
was like
gosh.
trying to pick. I'm like, would I pick Cheetos or would I pick Doritos? Like,
Ooh, Cheetos.
yeah.
It's funny that everyone's
Sorry.
going with cheese because I was gonna say the cheesy cup of noodles that they used to make, which I haven't eaten one in like a decade, but those used to be
Ew.
like I loved those when I was like a teenager. They were like mac and cheese cup of noodle kind of things.
Just
They were
mac
so
and
good.
cheese.
Oh,
That
those are
sounds
good.
terrible.
Oh yeah.
Homemade
Ramen.
mac and cheese. is
Mm.
what I would
Ramen? No, you only get one.
Ramen.
do. Ramen.
So yours is
Uh,
Doritos. Laura, what would you bring? Ice cream. We know that. Okay.
No, no, because I get my vegan ice cream here, so that's not special. I'd
That's
want
what I do.
croissants.
That's not even junk
Boom.
food.
Junk-
That is junk
That's
food.
butter.
I'm
That
talking.
is-
Oh, come on.
I'm talking like
That's junk
something-
food.
Something like Doritos or
That's
little
not-
little Debbie cake or something that you like or
Oh.
candy.
I'm sorry
Not
that that's
sweet
what
enough.
you would like my answer to be, but my answer is croissants.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a lame. No.
yeah.
Is it lame? Why is it
I
lame,
support
guys?
you, Alara.
Okay, so Alara's answer's wrong. Who else?
That's croissant the answer I was looking for.
I like it.
What's yours, Tyler?
I see pizza in the
I-
chat. That's a good mac and cheese.
I think I'm gonna have to go to my roots and bring cereal, like the bad stuff.
What?
Like,
Yeah.
That is
Lucky
such a
Charms.
lame answer,
Is that
Tyler.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
I'd
Better
take
than
it back.
roots.
That's the lame.
croissants.
What are
Still
you
makes
talking
sense.
about? Like all those
a
like
kid.
anything that's made like Kellogg, like Lucky Charms and
Oh yeah.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, all
Cookie
that
Crisp.
stuff, all Cookie Crisp, Cocoa Puffs,
Just a bowl of
all that
cookies.
stuff is
So
terrible.
you get
for-
all the cereals or just one? Because if you get all the cereals, then I
Yeah.
get Flamin' Hot Cheetos too.
Right?
You get all, all right, you get all the Cheetos.
This is a great
you get all the
conversation.
Doritos. I get all the cereal.
I thought you
Laura
chose
gets all the
Cheetos.
croissants.
Maybe, yeah. I want like gobstoppers or something.
Gobstoppers. I've never seen you eat a gobstopper.
I love. That's because I used
they're
to.
not good for you.
Yeah, I know. Or like nerds.
Fearless said
Nerds are
butter.
good.
Final answer. That's a good one because you can
Just
use
So
it.
butter.
butter's
on-
not bad for
Nice.
you, but
Butter's actually good. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, technically,
Yeah.
that's good for you.
I love butter.
You know, just
Mm.
gallons of it.
Cheesecake.
Trisha Margus.
Mm,
she said,
yeah.
Oh,
Cheesecake.
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 Oh,
Cheesecake,
Yes.
croissant. See, Trish is down with my croissant.
Yes,
She
I
gets
say
it.
Trisha's-
Croissants are my. Oh, that's my. Ooh.
Jake
I
is
love me
also
some
down for
croissant.
croissants. He supports you.
I think
Ooh.
I kind of like Kate's ramen answer though. Ramen.
Yeah. Ramen.
That
But
would-
there's like 5D healthy ramen kind of right now if you go to
Yeah.
the right place. You
Yeah,
can
Who
get some
takes
good
ramen to 5D? Like,
Somebody that needs MSG in their bloodstream in order to
But
survive.
it will become healthy and nutritious once
Get
it
in and,
transitions.
right. MSG.
yeah.
Yeah.
You and me.
If I could just
it's
take
fine.
an ingredient, I'll just bring the MSG and then we'll just put that on everything.
Yeah.
And we can just make 5D
Well, think
MSG.
about-
They have that.
MS5D.
Have you heard the kind of wacky like theories that MSG, and maybe it's true that MSG is actually
Wacky.
like a nutrient for our bodies and they've classified it as being toxic? I've heard this theory. I don't know
Really?
if I've actually believe it, but it's an interesting concept.
He'll be presenting on it at the Family of Light.
Yeah. I want you.
All I know is that when I
MSG.
cut out MSG, I stopped having migraines.
Nice.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
Nice.
To me, it seems like it's a toxin.
Yeah.
Get rid of
sure.
aspartame.
Sorry,
too.
Jayse.
One can dream.
Well, sorry to Kate. She's the one that
Yeah.
wants the MSG.
Well, I
5D.
think, I
Well,
think,
McDonald's put it in their fries, so I'm
5D,
pretty sure
MSG,
it's not good.
5D.
yeah, 5D MSG.
See, Alexis
Cool.
likes
5D
my jam.
MSG.
Um, no, but I think about that as far as, all of our favorite foods are basically poison, and they do that on purpose. They make poison taste as best as possible and make it addictive, but
Right.
and affordable, And I was like, well, why does it have to be like that? Everything that I crave and I want, I can't have. Why can't I take those foods and bring them with me to New Earth, but just make them healthy? If you can manifest whatever you want.
That's
Yeah.
what I do.
Can we
I
have-
just eat them now. I'm like, oh well.
I was gonna say people.
This is 5D
Some
now.
people do that now, and
and
they
I
just
eat
call
it.
it like dream food. I've heard people say they're like, "Oh, this is dream food. It's all good."
Busted.
Well, we talk about
That's neat.
mitigating the alcohol before we eat it by saying a prayer over it. I wonder if that does help with like
Exactly.
junk food and stuff. If you can kind of like say a prayer over it and like change the vibration of the food by infusing it with like love,
Totally.
Kate's
It
going to
works
be at
some
the
days.
conference praying over a bag of Doritos.
Yeah. She's gonna
They
be
catch
great.
on
Use
fire.
the
They're
whole
like,
audience.
Yeah.
She's gonna be walking around with a bag of Doritos the whole conference.
Listen.
Bless these.
Well,
It's
don't they
okay.
have like a 5D Dorito or something?
They do now.
Oh, they do. That's weird. What?
What? They
That's
do?
weird.
Yeah.
No,
That
well,
sounds familiar.
3D.
No, but
Oh,
they
his face.
Is it a 5D?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe
They already have 5D.
That's creeptastic,
Now I
guys.
gotta look this up.
Any last things you guys want to go over or cover or share before we start wrapping this up?
I was gonna say one thing else with the conference that we can do that'll be fun is sky watching. So there's this awesome spot that Alexis and I know that's like our favorite go-to sky watching spot that we always see something at.
Oh
and
yeah. I'm like, what?
It overlooks there's this valley that's kind of just southwest of Sedona, still in Sedona, but kind of borders the Red Rocks. And it's where the Bradshaw Ranch was. And if you guys don't know what Bradshaw Ranch is, it's like Sedona's Skinwalker Ranch,
Skinwalker,
basically.
Yeah.
And so basically the federal government took it over, eminent domained it in like the 90s and shut the whole thing down. Normally when the government buys property, like they don't shut it down, but they totally shut it down. And then there's all these reports in the past couple decades of like huge military convoys going out there and like disappearing in the middle of the night, and like, 200 cars drive over there and then they're like gone kind of thing. And
Can we go there?
It's kind of that. Yeah. It's that whole valley area that we see a lot of the activity, because basically what Miss Bradshaw, I've heard her talk about it in interviews. She said that this area is a very powerful portal or like Stargate of some kind, and beings are constantly kind of moving in and out of it. And so I'm sure that's why the government wanted control of it in the first place.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's so much activity there. It's amazing. So we can go there like one of the nights or multiple nights after things wrap up and have some, after hours over there.
Yeah.
Can we have
What's
a
the
CE5?
weather like there at night?
That's amazing.
Pardon?
Would you say, how's the weather at night?
Yeah.
Good.
Really good. Right now it's like perfect. It's like, I'd say 70s, like really
At night?
at night. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Well,
What would you
amazing.
say?
I'd say maybe
I-
warmer.
Maybe a little warmer. Let's
I
see.
think, Alara, to answer your question, can we have a CE5? I think by us
Yeah.
going and just setting the intention for the
Mhm.
Skywatch is
That's-
doing that.
yeah.
I don't think there's anything in particular we have to do or download the Stephen Greer app or nothing like that.
Lasers. We need our
Yeah.
lasers. I don't even have a laser for ESETI. This is terrible.
Weren't you the one saying that they don't like the lasers?
Well, I don't know. I haven't asked. I could ask them.
James
We'll
has
buy
plenty
some.
if you need them. No, but he does have a CE5 app, Stephen Greer, and it's
Right.
and apparently isn't something you want on your phone because it puts out a
No.
frequency that allows in negative.
That's so crazy.
No.
So I just watched his documentary from last year, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. And if you didn't know any of that stuff about Stephen Greer, the shady stuff, like it's amazing. Like everything he talks about, and everything they talk about in that,
Interesting.
it's like super spot on, and it's amazing. So that just shows you like the sneakiness of the dark. It's like they
Yeah.
just know exactly how to get in
Yeah.
there.
Well,
But,
and
but
then-
at the same time, it means you can just take the information, and
Sure.
like with us, it doesn't matter. But like, it's made to be like a gatekeep. People gatekeepers, they're like
Yeah. Well, you got
sneak
him
in
like
that stuff.
in the Cosmic Hoax, his new one.
That's the new one.
He
yeah.
says that there is no evidence,
which he's
of-
been saying for a long time.
yeah, but he's still saying
But
there's
he's
no
still
evidence
saying-
of negative ETs. And obvious, and he works for the Rockefellers.
BS.
He works
What
for the
about-
Rockefeller
What
Initiative.
about the plane spraying us?
Yes. So anyway,
Yeah, the reptilians don't exist.
Every
Nutrients.
movie they make.
Yeah, nutrients.
there's
So we can
a-
go breatharian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just breathe the chemtrails.
Ew. Suck it
Just the fact
in.
that he also doesn't talk about the cabal as if they don't exist either. So that's
Right.
another red flag.
Yeah.
So there's
Is
no
they
negative
home?
ETs. The cabal doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's not right here.
But like you said, if you're just coming into this and you watch it, you're still going to gain something from that. You're still going to be able to
But-
take something away from it.
He still talks about great stuff.
But they
the
trick
flip
you.
side.
That's how they trick you if you choose to follow him.
Right.
Kate,
Well-
you got to run.
Yeah, I gotta run.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Bye, Kate.
See, I'm
Bye,
so excited
Kate.
to
This was
see
fun.
you.
We'll
Bye,
see you in 2
guys.
weeks.
See you later. Thank you.
Have fun.
Thanks. Bye.
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 you.
And she's gone.
But there's
Maybe
still
not.
a picture of her.
I don't.
Maybe
No,
not.
she-
That's
Still there
concerning.
somehow.
That's
She's just gonna watch us.
She's just watching us.
There it is.
Oh, she's gone.
Aw.
But
And
yeah,
then
so
there were 5.
yeah.
About 4 or 5.
It just goes to show you how easy it is to put a show on and deceive somebody, or not really deceive, but if you're just getting into this, if you have no idea this world exists, that we're here, that Journey to Truth exists, that we all have channels, and you just
Right.
get into it, you don't know who to follow. So that's what these people are out there for. They're not there for us. They're for all the people that are coming to this information.
Mhm.
And then you can muddy the waters that way, and it's very and it's really hard because you don't know who to watch. But there might be a lesson in that for you. Maybe you follow the wrong person and you get duped, or you realize this person wasn't who you thought they were. That's a lesson for you, and that's how we all learn.
That's
So-
exactly what happened to
Yeah.
me. I was like Stephen Greer, that first documentary he did. What was it called?
Unacknowledged.
Unacknowledged. Yeah.
Acknowledged.
That
Also a great
actually, like,
documentary.
That's a great documentary.
I woke up
It was a
to like
huge
a
red pill
ton
for
of
me.
stuff with that. Like, and that was
Mhm.
when I was in Arrow and I was like seeing the connections with everything and learning about all this other stuff. But I remember watching the videos about, he had all these videos about the crossing point of light and stuff like that resonated. But then as soon as he talked about there not being negative ETs, I was like, that doesn't make sense. And that was the one thing that I started to question his work about. And then I remember being like really confused at one point, trying to balance what he was saying with everything else I was learning, and this concept of like, are there nefarious entities that are messing with things, or is that all just our subconscious, projections? But ultimately I started to question that stuff more. And there's still bits and pieces that I think are useful, like you guys are saying, but overall
Mhm.
it's there's things to question with what he talks about.
Yeah, don't mix with shady characters.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
Yeah.
Tyler's totally right. Like, I remember after I woke up, like, I didn't know where the other people were that this had happened to. Like, I all of a sudden knew about secret space programs and ETs, but I didn't have anybody to talk to. And so I went to contact in the desert, because I was like, where's all the people that know about the ships? You know what I mean? I was trying to find people that and I really was that green. I didn't know anything. You know what I mean? So I could see how someone like that could easily be like, oh, when they figure out there's aliens, I want to talk to them. Oh, you mean I can see ships and all that? Yeah, you can. Well, just get this guy's app and do. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, that's-
Oh yeah,
that's-
totally.
Yeah, that's the
That's
danger in
their
that. They don't
setup.
know yet that they can do that themselves. You don't need.
What I
anybody to
realized,
do it.
yeah, these people are set up to be like the guy in their field. So like Stephen Greer, he's kind of like set up to be if you notice, he's kind of like portrays himself and set up to be like the leader of disclosure, of like ET and UFO disclosure. He's like the guy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And he gets put in that position on purpose to be that gatekeeper, so everyone follows him and just believes that. So that's the biggest thing, when it's like 90% truth, and then he slips in, or 95% even, and then he slips in, oh, there's no negative ETs, they're all good. So you just connect with
And
anything, and
they
that's super
boost
dangerous.
people's ego like that. They
Oh, yeah.
give him insider information or intel or whatever,
Mhm.
and they make him think like, listen, you're the guy, we need you, we can't do this without you. And then that's why he's able to come and do this with such a passion, you know.
Mhm.
Because obviously there's mind control at all levels. So we have to remember that too. That's something William Tompkins said.
Yeah.
He said you have to remember that even the dark ones are under mind control and they don't know it. So like
yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
so
I miss
they-
that guy.
AI.
Yeah, I
I miss
know.
William Tompkins.
Me too.
Yeah.
If only there was like a database of all his knowledge that we could access, like a
It's the Akashic.
I guess it would
Yeah.
be the Akashic.
Sure.
So like a hologram version of him that would pop
Doesn't
up
make
that
that
you could
easier.
ask any questions to.
Yeah,
I wish I
When-
could have talked to him before he
Yeah.
passed away. That
He
would've been
passed away
great.
during the eclipse. I was in Mount Shasta.
Oh yeah, that's right.
At the Eclipse of Disclosure.
Oh yeah, you guys are both there.
You,
Huh?
you guys were
Yeah.
there, right?
I
She
was
was.
there.
Or you were there? Okay.
Yeah, and they
You
were
interviewed.
announcing his passing right after the eclipse. We were all like, well, okay.
Yeah, we're like, okay. That's not
Makes sense, I guess. It's a good time to go.
Epic time to go.
It was kind of like his
Right.
funeral. We didn't even know it.
Yeah,
Sure,
I remember
sure.
that.
Yeah.
That was powerful.
I mean, I'm including him in my presentation
Oh, there you
nice. Good.
just because he played a pivotal role in helping us realize a lot of things that were taking place
go. Yeah.
during World War II and before and after that we had no idea. So, and a lot of
Well-
people, and he was one of the more reputable, credible guys who had
Mhm.
sauce, who had documentation, and you can verify his testimony. And that's why I think he was so crucial.
Why didn't he
Yep.
get you know what I wonder about, guys? Why didn't he get that? Why didn't the Pleiadians give him those pills and like so he didn't get old? You know what I mean? Like what? Like I still wonder about that. Like he aged naturally and passed away, and it's like I still wonder, but did he? You know
Maybe
what
he
I mean?
made a different deal.
Yeah,
I mean, he
would
was
not
pretty
be
connected
surprised.
to.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
he had lived several 20 and backs kind of things, and
He was tired.
he was really like
Needed a
200
new
or
body.
300 years old, energetically or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But there's also like the
Mhm.
respecting of free will that I think that these groups want to do. They don't want to necessarily just because
That's what I
I think
was gonna say.
especially if they're working with someone and already kind of exposing them to these programs and these kind of psychological concepts that are so different from the normal simulation we're involved in here. They don't want to, I think they don't want to give more to that or like give more of a crutch, or it's like they want to be as hands off as possible, I think.
Me too.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I agree. I think it just kind of let nature run its course, stay out of like free will, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd want to stay in this. Whoa.
Whoa, did you just have a 20 back?
Yeah.
What just happened? You just said, I don't know if I want
I-
to stay in this experience, and then you
You just got
That's
sent
what-
back.
Yeah, I got zapped. I don't know if I don't know if I would want to stay in this experience past my natural
Right.
death.
Somebody,
Like honestly, like I want to go home to my planet. Like this place is kind of intense. You know what I mean?
Well, once the shift happens, though, like,
Well, yeah, it'll be
it's going to be
different.
amazing.
Well,
That's why I'm
But
excited.
are
about
we?
that.
You think we're all gonna be? I mean, what if we don't know how long it's gonna take?
We don't know how long it's going to take. It's true.
yeah.
We don't
But
know.
what if it does happen, in the next 10 years or something, and then
Then I'll be happy.
it's like,
But what if?
Somebody said William Tompkins
Doesn't-
said his work was done. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
why he
yeah.
did
Did a
hear.
good job.
that's why he passed. Yeah, his
Yeah,
work
exactly.
was done. Yep.
We're,
So
we're-
I want to ask a question real quick. What do you guys think is going to happen with, like, maybe let's say the rest of this month with UFO disclosure type of stuff? Do you think we're going to see any other kind of bombshell type info come out, like maybe sightings or another report or something? Or do you think that was kind of it and now it's kind of brushed under the rug for
that was technically the preliminary report.
Yeah.
Mhm.
so it's going to be
but-
another one, right?
Yeah,
Supposedly.
And
Allegedly.
based on what we got from that, I wouldn't expect the next one to be like I said.
Yeah.
It's pretty
It's not
apparent
gonna
that
be
they went
much.
back to square one. Like they have ignored everything that we already know and there's evidence of, and you can go on the internet and find it. And it's not even, it's been disclosed. There's declassified documents. They've
Yeah.
ignored all
They're
of it.
pretending like that doesn't exist.
They've ignored all of it. They go back to the drawing board and they're literally, it's like going back to 1947. Same bullshit. They even put a weather balloon in the damn report. It's a joke. It's a slap in the face. It's an insult to our
I
intelligence.
didn't even see that. They put a weather balloon in the report. Or like
Yeah.
they
It's something
discussed
like
it.
it could be this, it could be that, and it could be, like
Right.
a weather balloon.
Yeah, they
Like,
Yeah.
but
what?
they still brought it up.
They're saying, well, they're even saying like the vast majority of sightings are explainable, have been explained by as just like something mistaken as a UFO, but then
I
the
don't-
few that are unexplained and we don't know what they are. And they're like, we're not ruling out aliens, but there's no evidence that there are aliens or something like that. So basically it's like we don't know.
They're giving themselves plausible
pseudo profound bullshit is what it is.
And they're also
Pseudo
not
profound
admitting,
bullshit.
and they're not admitting to the technology that we have that we know exists that
Right.
is part of it.
Though, White Hat and I went through that report and we found a couple nuggets, guys. There is a couple nuggets in there. Like if you really go through, they admit, like, you got to really go through it with a fine-tooth comb, but they admit to like tracking them with frequencies and knowing when they're going to show up. Like if you really pick through that report.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
well, that just gave me a visual of like how that could work. That was trippy.
So basically, I mean, the rabbit hole puts you on is, okay, so there's a way for us to track them now. Like, and you basically just gave us the breadcrumb of how to figure out how to do it ourselves, right? So, and the locations where they're consistently at, I think there's quite a few little breadcrumbs in there.
Good.
So the frequency thing, do you think it has to, like, they're monitoring a spectrum of frequencies and they can predict when something's about to slip in or something?
Yes.
So do you think it's that they're monitoring like this, for lack of better words, the space-time continuum or the vibratory spectrum, and they're like predicting when, say, a portal opens and then it's like something may just happen to come through that portal? Or do you think they can actually tell preemptively when an actual craft is about to come through?
It's a combination. It's a combination of things, in my opinion. In my opinion, it's everything from tracking the portals to tracking the energetic frequency of the individual ships, the crafts, right. and also other things. Certain locations like military installations where there's a bunch of ships all the time. Then they just know they're going to be there. It's a number of things, but that's what I'm saying. Even though that report was so crappy, if you really dug through it with a fine tooth comb, I'm glad I did now. There was little nuggets in there, you know what I mean, of stuff that can help us get something done. And I think disclosure is going to come from people leaking stuff because enough is enough.
That's what I was going to say. Like if the government doesn't step up and actually deliver something meaningful, then I feel like either the people or the galactics themselves,
they're pushing
are just going to do it.
They're already doing it with the sightings right now.
Yeah.
And the contacts that are going right now.
Remember when I talked about the Desert Accord Treaty? According to Sue Walker, the Desert Accord Treaty was signed in 1971, and it stated that ETs were not allowed to show themselves, give us technology, show photos, videos, and like they weren't allowed to show themselves or give us disclosure for 50 years. And the end of that 50 years is up in August of this year. And yeah. So,
apparently.
According, and she channels the Ponte from the like Sierra Nevada mountains or whatever they are. But
it's that. Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
August.
It's whatever you take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if that's a verifiable treaty or what, but if it's true, she says that they're like predicting some, not immediately, but this fall, you might see, and she even breaks it down how it's going to happen, like how they tell her what's going to happen.
So that would be this August.
Yeah.
It was on Third Eye Salon. That's the name of the YouTube channel, and it's pretty recent. And it's an interview with Sue Walker, and she gets into a lot of stuff. She even talks about how they're like the spheres are absorbing the solar flares and all that stuff, and all kinds of stuff. It's really interesting.
Nice.
I was thinking about Allison Coe had a session that she talked about, I think back in like May, before the report came out, and she was, or not her, but her client was saying that that we wouldn't actually see the kind of disclosures we were hoping for in June with the report, which was true, right? It was a nothing burger and the thing didn't even come out until July. But then I remember the person saying that July stuff would start to leak more naturally, like there would be more random insiders leaking stuff aside from the report, and that's when it would start to pick up. So that's where I'm like, we have a couple more weeks left of July. I wonder if that's going to pick up a little more, because since that report came out, there hasn't been a ton of
Well,
activity.
Jayse, you got Code Monkey on there with alien leaks now starting to,
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry.
no, you were talking.
That's promising. The alien leaks thing, it's really, I have a good feeling about that.
I just hope that because I was thinking about they have a reputation. Now they have all eyes on them. My concern with that is that as soon as they start, they have to like be able to verify and have evidence for everything they put out. Well, we're living in a world that's designed to bury the evidence. So they're going to be able to give us very minimal stuff. They're probably getting thousands of documents sent to them. But what they can actually release is going to be minimal.
I see what you're saying.
And they have to watch
Gatekeeping.
they have to watch their backs too. They don't want to be ridiculed. So we might not get like it's promising in a way, but it's also like I have to play devil's advocate and wonder why are they the ones who get to tell us,
That's a good point.
Who lets them decide what gets leaked and what doesn't, just because they can't find evidence,
Right.
Well, the people leaking it are free to go to other people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And those other people are free to put it out there or not based on the evidence or the information evidence they've been given. So, I mean, it's not like they're the only people that are going to have the capacity to do that.
I mean, you could go outside and ask everybody that you see if they know who Alien Leaks is or what Alien Leaks is, and they'll say no. It's not. There's other ways.
But if it does actually shape up to kind of be like WikiLeaks, like they're trying to model it after, it could be promising.
I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that it ends up being what we need.
Yeah. Either way, I feel like it would almost be
educational.
It would almost be better for the masses, like people who don't believe in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Psychologically, they'd probably be more willing to accept these kind of documents if there was some sort of mass visual event or something on the news or something of that sort, where they would be forced to question and start looking for answers. And then the average person starts requesting FOIAs or information from the government about this kind of stuff. I could see that really taking off. Yeah. And I think too, like on that note, I keep getting this vision of like Elon Musk going through a public spiritual awakening to ETs, and like how the kind of impact that would have. Like, I have a feeling he already knows about this stuff now, but he's kind of playing dumb when he says that he doesn't believe in ETs and stuff. But if he were to go through a public kind of awakening experience to that, as one of the most influential people in the world and one of the richest, and obviously doing all the SpaceX stuff, I feel like it would be such a huge catalyst for scientifically minded people to start accepting this information from like a logical, rational standpoint. And who knows if that'll happen, but
I mean, if he is being used as a pawn, maybe they could use him for that,
Right.
Yeah. On the good side or the bad side, it could go either way.
There is a plan.
You guys think he's ICC?
What's that?
Corporate conglomerate.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's running a hell of a game down here. He can't be that ignorant about all of it.
No, what I mean? Yeah, there's no way.
I'm not buying it.
Yeah, no, he knows. I think he knows what's going on.
I've heard stuff. I've heard people say that he doesn't invent any of this stuff. He it's all given to him, and he just is like the public face for it all. Like he's not as smart as people think. He's presented with this stuff, and he's like playing a role. This is a theory, right? Just like Epstein, turned out he didn't have any money. Like that was just the cover. He was actually broke.
The other guy's money. Yeah.
And he was under control. He had to do everything they said. But anytime you read about him, some wealthy millionaire who owns an island, he had nothing to do with like technically owning that. He didn't even have the money. That was all, there's Israeli Mossad operatives who was.
It's all just a show. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all just a show. So I wonder like, why can't the same be happening with Elon or even any other public figures, celebrities, politicians?
Yeah.
Well, everybody in the public sphere, I think, is put there on purpose. Like there's so many people in the world, they have to pick and choose what they do with the time that they have to like inundate us with stuff. So there's always a plan, I guess.
I think
somebody said Musk did not take the vaccine. That's true.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
That doesn't surprise me.
I honestly, that's
funny.
I have faith in the soul that I feel when I tap into him. I do feel like there is a soul, even though he's really hard to read. Obviously, like everyone says that, right? Everyone says he's like almost impossible to read, but I think maybe that's for a reason. But with the connections with, you know, on one end, like SpaceX and Space Force to me seem like complementary sides of the same coin, where to me, it seems like SpaceX was created as a privatized version of the Space Force to start basically taking away business and competition from groups like the ULA, who were working primarily as like the monopoly rocket industry. Like they had a monopoly over that whole industry. And, you know, that was a couple years before Space Force came in, and then Space Force comes in. And to me, it's like Space Force took over the regulatory government side of space business, and SpaceX took care of the private side of it. And of course, now they're working together and are contracts with each other. But before them, it was pretty much the United Launch Alliance and the NRO, the National Reconnaissance Office. And they were doing like all the business together, and they had a monopoly over it, and it was all classified and secret. And then all of a sudden SpaceX, Space Force come in and like take over the game. And then that combined with all of, you know, Elon Musk's connections to Peter Thiel, and Peter Thiel's connections to Trump and to Palantir and to Looking Glass, and how that's all related, and how they both basically created PayPal together. And then Thiel helped found OpenCoin, which is basically what became Ripple XRP right now. So there's like, and then he's like one of the biggest Trump supporters, right? And to me, from my research, it looks like Peter Thiel is kind of the brains behind Elon Musk on the back end. Like he's like Musk is like the front for the what
front
Peter
guy.
Thiel is doing behind the scenes.
Or someone.
And then you look at like,
I love how Alexis is being your hype man over there.
It's our life.
And then he made like $100 billion in 2020, right? Went from like 20 billion to like 120 plus billion, which on the surface can seem kind of sketch. Like, you know, the media tried to, that was one thing that I saw that made me think that it was actually a positive thing, when the media was going after Musk, saying like he capitalized off the pandemic, blah, 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 which didn't actually come from the pandemic. It just happened to be during the time period. But I think that that was an operation in which the white hats were able to funnel money basically to a source that would be able to change, so basically make major chess moves on that kind of 3D surface level with those kind of funds. But I'm still trying to suss them out and do research on both sides and feel like
obviously you're doing research.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I'm trying to say I'm not married to the idea that he is a white hat. I'm still open to both, but so far the research is showing me that.
Well,
I'm leaning that way too these days. At first I thought he was cabal just because of certain things he would say. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, that's like always.
But then it would go back and forth, because then he would say things that I'm like, oh, that maybe he's a white hat, or maybe he's on
he
the side of the
confuses
light.
us. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he'd say something, and I'm like, oh no, and then, it was like back and forth. I could.
And I think like for the same reason that Trump had to like be pro jab in a way, you know, it was kind of like optics that needed to be played
For the military.
Well, he
that might
just
be why.
recently did an interview on Hannity. I forget what it was, and they were talking about the jab, and he had mentioned an alternative again, hydroxychloroquine. He's had something else, and they just tore him apart. You know, the media tore him apart again. CNN, obviously. So, and all he did was barely mention something about barely. They spun. Imagine if he was pro jab or anti jab. That's political suicide. You know, they would take that and run with it and destroy him with that.
Yeah.
So it was probably all optics.
I get that. I get that 100%.
And anyway, go ahead. They say
You go ahead, Tyler.
All right. I have a question. Which celebrity, public figure, musician do you think for sure is a clone?
Besides Biden?
Besides Biden. Given.
Is that the gimme?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Anybody? Alexis? Alara?
Eminem.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Eminem.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
That was in our conspiracy trivia question.
Yeah.
They said that he was cloned back in like whatever year. I forgot, but
Definitely a clone.
I feel like Beyonce comes to mind, but I also feel like there's a real Beyonce somewhere. Like the real one's still alive.
There has to be an original, yeah.
Right. Who else? I feel like there's so many. Share.
Elton John.
Elton John actually
Uh,
does feel very clone-ish.
Who is it? We went to see Buddy from Angels and Airwaves, who is
Oh, Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
He's probably
Tom
a clone
DeLonge.
now.
we went and
Yeah,
checked him
we're
out
not-
personally, and we're like, what is this anymore?
Yeah.
Same with
Wow.
even though Trump, sometimes I'm like, what is this thing that's walking around? He's pretty charismatic, but you're like, ha, like
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, just we've heard that from. I think
Yeah.
there's clones of Trump too. I think
That's why I wanted to go
Yeah.
physically to the places,
What is it?
because you can feel easier. Like you try and tap into their energy body, and you're like, oh,
Well, and when we saw
kind of
Pence,
misses.
when we saw
Yeah.
Pence, it definitely felt
Yeah,
like that.
Pence
Like,
was-
Oh,
no.
Pence for sure. Yeah.
and of course,
Well-
anytime you see him talk, he's just like so emotionless and doesn't react. Like, did you see that video where the crowd was booing at him and he wasn't even like phased?
Not
He
a
was just like,
single-
kept on
No.
talking like he was the shit. And
Yeah.
the crowd's like, boo. And
Well,
he's just like,
there's an interesting theory I'm coming up with. So,
Okay,
um,
all of them.
Mark, we had our interview. With,
Oh, here we go.
we had our interview with Mark D, and he was explaining how Michael Aquino was in the programs, just like Rebecca Rose said. And he said that one time, like he would Michael Aquino would be sitting at a table lifeless for like 12 hours, and they had this like soul splitting technology, and they would they would use him and they would just like put different consciousnesses in him, and then like that would take, or a different soul basically would take over the clone. So it's like an empty vessel clone, and then they can just put whatever consciousness they want, or whatever
Interesting.
soul they want, and then he would get up and do this stuff, and then like it would leave, and he would be sitting down. It'd be like they shut off like a Energizer bunny or something. Well, I've heard through channelings I listen to that's how clones work. A clone,
Right.
a clone just doesn't have one. People like, there's a war for it. Like there's like reptilians trying to like use their soul
It's
to
just a
take over that
vessel,
clone. Yeah.
and any soul can.
So there's actually like
occupy it,
souls
yeah.
competing for a clone.
and they can
And-
pop in and out, I
yeah.
assume.
And then that's why we get so many different versions of so many different people. And obviously not all the clones are going to be
That's why you get
identical.
The Biden that can't speak at all,
Yeah.
and the Biden that can. Yeah.
So
It's
it's
like how is this
nothing.
the same person?
Nothing is
Yeah.
black and white.
Right.
It's really
Yeah.
interesting to me. I think about that stuff. I'm crazy.
I do too.
That's creepy.
The cloning stuff goes so deep. It's so fascinating.
And there's a lot to it. Like there's a lot of techniques and certain needs that need to be met with every case. And
I need a clone.
Yeah.
I need another one of me. That'd be great.
How do we know
Be
that?
careful.
How do you
Yeah.
know that you're not like this
I
is
don't actually.
Oh my God, have you guys seen that new Rick and Morty episode? It literally talks about that.
No,
one of the
really?
new episodes from this new season is about basically the concept of not knowing if you're a clone or not. And like
Nice.
basically Rick makes all these clone double families of himself as decoys, and they all
Yeah.
think they're the original.
so they
Yeah.
make more decoys.
Do clones have
amazing.
a desire to seek the creator and evolve though?
They don't know. A clone doesn't know they're a clone.
Well, I
Right.
guess.
But
I
do
guess
they have the desire to
question
seek
would
the
be,
creator?
if there's a soul in the clone,
Then
then
yes.
Right.
probably. But if
Yeah.
it's a programmed clone without a soul, then I would guess no.
Oh,
And
there's
if-
both.
Yeah, there's both. And if a clone is destroyed or killed, the consciousness springs back to the host. So they have the memories, they retain the memories, and any
Yummy.
traumas, physical ailments, you get that pain from, like if the clone was stabbed in the stomach, you might have a stomach pain all of a sudden out of nowhere. This is something that we see with the SSP guys. And Jayse,
Really?
I know this happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Um,
I don't even know.
So I don't know as far as I was going somewhere with that and I forgot.
Clones and Biden asked if what
Oh
celebrities we
yeah,
thought.
you said that can they seek the source? Yeah, so I don't know. I think maybe if there is a soul aspect of you in that clone, then part of that clone, yes, would believe in something, right?
But do clones have like spiritual awakenings and stuff? Like,
I guess
don't
if
know.
it's got an organic soul, then I would guess that they could. But part of me feels like the majority of the clones out there, at least the ones that we're seeing, are more programmed life forms than they are soul
Agreed.
incarnated.
Agreed.
And that gets into a trippy
Agreed.
subject too, which is like with China and probably lots of other countries having probably experimented on this for decades, if not longer, how many people out there are actually clones that we think are real people? And
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if you guys
How
know
many
who
are
Cabamir is,
NPCs?
Right.
well, Cabamir, who's a Palladian channeler, he has said, whether this is true or not, he said that, like, I think he said literally 2/3 of the planet are these NPCs, and that, like,
I wouldn't
which is
doubt it.
insane.
I believe it.
Maybe most
I
of those
wouldn't
are
doubt
in
it.
China, since China has the largest population. It's possible the
Well, like
majority's
Dolores
there.
Cannon calls them background people. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dolores
Right.
Cannon called them
NPCs,
background
man.
people.
Yeah.
NPCs
I
background.
didn't
believe
know
it.
she called him that. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time I heard, like,
Nice.
because she was a part of my
That's
original
great.
awakening in
I love Dolores.
2012, and then when people start talking about NPCs and stuff, and then, like, the idea of, like, a lot of people being clones, I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
Dolores Cannon talked about that.
Yeah, but she just used
She
different
just used different
terminology.
terms. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
essentially what she was talking about.
And I was told it had something to do with the moon, and that they were controlled by the moon, and they were moon people. I had somebody tell me they were called moon people, and I was like, oh, great.
Well, if that
Oh, that
connects to the
sounds
whole
so
Saturn,
woo-woo, Alexis.
They're like, I was like, great, thanks. I'll add that one to the pile. Like, I'm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it seems to me like that could go hand in hand with the whole Saturn matrix thing, and if the moon is, this
It's
frequency,
electrical circuits.
yeah,
All
if
right,
it's
well,
if it, like,
Let's
I
go
don't
with
know.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blew up the moon in one of my dreams, so
Really?
it's all
That's cool.
related, right?
There you go.
Nice.
Last night I was in some sort of space academy,
Oh,
and,
wow.
and we
Oh,
were
no.
like on a mission, and I was brought back to my home in high school, and Johann Fritz was there
Whoa.
with some
Really?
other black guy at my house, and, like, I'm like, why are we going back to my high school house? And my car was in the street, like my old car that I had and everything. It was weird.
Mm.
I don't know what it was.
That reminds
Tyler's
me that
going through it right now. I can tell he's totally going
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
it.
And I
Going through it.
remember being in that space academy. They were like, all right, everybody, we had to break down our station. And I was confused because I didn't know what I was doing. Everybody was taking their glass, like it was a glass, like it was like a glass pad, and they were just taking it and tossing it. Like, I'm like, and I thought it was going to break. So I'm setting it down, and they're like, oh no, that can't break. It's like whatever technology is, like, it can't break. And we were in a hurry, and they had to break down their stations. And I was just remember thinking, oh,
Nice.
weird.
it's probably like that transparent metal where it's
Yeah.
like titanium, but it's like transparent. That
Yeah,
reminds
David
me that
Wilcock talked about
it. What a
that.
smart glass pad, man.
I know, right? We're so close though.
Like here in this dimension right now, in this
Sure,
moment.
you just gotta start digging. You'll find an underground base somewhere with one.
Yeah, true.
I had
Go
a
to the national parks. That's where they all are. That's why
There you
that's why there's national parks there.
Yeah.
don't want to get lost there.
They-
for
they-
sure.
they-
Yeah,
and they're- and
that's
it's
a whole nother
perfect-
show there.
The
It's
people
a perfect
here.
way
Yes.
to hide them in plain sight.
Did I
True.
tell you guys that I had a dream about Elon recently? Like the first dream
More
that
Elon
you
stuff.
said
Chase?
no, just
Bringing it back to Elon.
to circle back.
That's why he shaved. You want to look like him too.
Yeah, he's trying to be Elon.
I don't, what you think I look like Elon? He needs a.
That's
a
just why
bun.
you shave. Yeah, he
But-
needs to get a bun.
In this dream, I think so part of the dream I was with like you guys and a couple other people, and we had just basically saved a dome from blowing up. Like we were working in it, and we were like, it basically, there was some kind of self-destruct nuke type thing in it, and we had prevented it from being sabotaged and going off. And then we were having this like party at like someone's house, and we were just all chilling and hanging out and like celebrating. And then somewhere in that dream, I was in a spaceship with Elon, like an anti-grav, like not a rocket bomb, but like a real spaceship. And I remember like it was one of those like memory type dreams where I was like I was like outside the ship looking in, and I remember like I was like talking to Alexis telepathically, and we were like analyzing Elon to kind of suss him out and feel if he was good. And we both got like a good vibe about him, and he was like cracking jokes and like being funny and flying this craft that, yeah, it was trippy. It was very strange.
Wow.
Interesting.
Nice.
Nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
And he was much younger too, which was weird. He was like 30s Elon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, like that's what they say, if you have like a body or version of you in the programs. Like it could be like it's a different age, you know.
Right.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was like a fitter, stronger, younger version of him. Because
Yeah.
you know how when he was like
Well,
younger,
they-
he looks all frail and like kind of
Yeah, they
Yeah.
balding and
I've heard
But-
that they can like they do something to a clone that makes them stop aging at like age 21 for guys, something for girls.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I forgot what it is. So they reach a point and they basically look like that for the rest of their life.
Dang.
Some clones. Now this isn't all of them. Obviously they can have them age naturally, but if you're doing it
Rage.
for super soldiers,
Rage.
yeah, for super soldiers and stuff, it might make sense.
yeah.
Right.
That reminds me of like we were talking about yesterday, like the elves in Lord of the Rings who are like thousands of years old, but they always look like they're like 30 years old.
Or
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, well that's ETs in general. Like
Right.
Well, yeah. Most ET the positive ones live like hundreds, if not thousands, of years.
And it seems like around 30 is kind of the age that they
They
typically
basically
look.
they'll be like 200, 300 something, and they look like they're 25. or
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
yeah.
right.
Yeah, like our age, basically. They look like close
Yeah.
to-
Right.
So that's interesting because I wonder if like do they actually still age to get like old like we do, or do they just kind of like stay there the whole time and then
Hopefully they mature before
Yeah, I would assume they-
21 because
Totally.
stopping a man at 21 I think is cruel because they definitely there's a lot more maturing to go. Like
35?
all of
yeah,
us.
get to
Yeah.
live there, yeah.
Exactly. That's a
My
better
age,
spot,
basically.
I feel like,
I think
Yeah.
I forgot
mentally.
Yeah,
You don't look 35, Aaron.
I'm 34 actually. We both
You don't look 34, Aaron.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like I'm 54, but
Yeah, you feel like me.
Yeah.
You're back.
You're spring chicken, Tyler.
I wish.
Yeah.
No, I have major hip problems, and I'm trying to really work on it. So we'll get there. That's what the last episode, if you guys caught that, Jackie picked up. She was like, something with your hip flexors. I'm like, yeah, like you're right. You're on
Yeah,
point.
that's exactly what.
Yeah.
yeah. She picked up on it.
She
I've
said-
also been having kind of weird hip stuff. That's interesting.
I mean,
Really?
she picked up that they were stressed out. I'm like, stressed out from what? And then she went on to tell me off camera that like that's what one of the things that they do to these people in the programs is they exhaust their hips. They make them do all these hip exercises for some reason. And they actually have like a machine that it puts you in and it works your hips and all the stuff is what she was telling me in one of her experiences. So I'm just like wondering if she thinks that maybe somehow I'm like feeling the effects of that. Don't know.
That's
Interesting.
Yeah.
What I've been learning about that area.
She has the same problems. She has the same hip problems. And after that show, like everyone in the chat was like, oh my God, my hips have been killing me, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, a few people were like, me too.
that is weird.
Samantha said, Tyler, hips don't lie. They don't. Christina
That's
Aguilera,
true.
clone or not? Oh no, that's not
I don't
Christina. Who sings that? That's not Christina Aguilera.
Is that
Shakira.
Shakira? Yeah.
No, I don't think she's a clone.
I was
some
thinking
people
the
were-
other day that pretty much as soon as they have somebody to the point where they can use their image, that's when they're no longer themselves anymore. That's
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
that it's it's the trauma, I'm pretty sure, happens before they allow anyone any type of exposure. And that's how they translate the trauma to us on that subconscious level. So they won't allow anyone to be popular and put in front of us who hasn't had that particular trauma, because that's
I
what they're
agree.
continually trying to radiate into our subconscious minds, I think.
Great
So
point.
I agree.
It's a great
It's-
point.
it's hard to think about that, but like we didn't know these people before they were in our face. We didn't know
Yeah.
who they were, what they were like, most of us. So like we
didn't
wouldn't know much.
Yeah. We
but
didn't
there's-
know that they
Exactly.
we didn't know that we hated their song until it was played 1,000 times. You know?
Yeah.
No,
It
yeah.
seems to not matter either how much we hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it still
does
gets
not.
stuck in our head too.
Yeah. True.
Some people were saying Madonna, Lady Gaga,
Oh, I'm sure.
Uh,
Like,
I
Oh,
keep forgetting we're
yeah.
live
I
to like
was
a
gonna
huge
Yeah.
say.
audience.
I was gonna say.
Justin Bieber.
I was gonna say
Madonna.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said
Oh.
Tom Cruise.
Something's going on with deep. I don't know what's going on with him. but,
Hillary, of course.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so
Oprah.
bad.
Yeah, probably.
So Alara, tell us about the Space Force. What are you guys gonna talk about tomorrow night?
Oh, on
Space
the
Force
news?
News.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're talking about a lot. I'd have to go and look though, because I had just made the link right before we came on. But I think there's
War for the Moon. I remember.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting considering all the stuff that's been going on or you know, the rumors around about folks getting booted off the moon, because it seems like there's a big race going on now between all of our Earth countries to get to the moon and stake claim.
And Antarctica.
Yeah.
And Antarctica. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there's actually sauce for it now. So yeah, that's why I put that as number 1 on the title for tomorrow night. You guys know I have a terrible memory. I'm trying to remember what else is on. There's a lot actually. There's like a whole lot. It's gonna be kind of a jam-packed show. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Oh yeah, mouse human chimeras.
Oh no, you always with the mice and
I know,
poor little babies.
Is this related to the rocket mice?
No, that's
like conjoined wombs.
Did they become chimeras from being space mice?
We don't know. But maybe whoever did it was motivated by Space Mouse. Watch Space Force News and was like,
right, we'll find out.
So
I'm gonna make one of these because
somebody's gonna
Alara
tune into Space Force News and they're gonna hear you talking about that mice chimera and like, what is it?
Yeah.
This isn't Space Force News.
The chimera thing is so interesting. They're really like disclosing that a lot lately, like the human hybrid stuff.
Yeah, you're right. And that's
the Sweet Tooth show.
Yeah.
Which did you guys know that that's directed or produced by Robert Downey Jr. and his wife?
No,
and
really?
Which is interesting because I had a dream like maybe 2 years ago with Robert Downey Jr. where I was at like a house party. I guess I have a lot of dreams about house parties. It's kind of weird. Yeah. I don't even go to house parties. I was at a house party and he was there and I like sat down next to him and I remember just saying to him, I know you're a part of the Alliance. Like I see you, like you're good. And
who was this?
This was Robert Downey Jr.
In a dream.
And I told him, like, I just knew. I was like, I know you're part of the Alliance. Like, I got you. Like,
so
don't worry. And then he's producing the show and Disclosure, and then of course all the Marvel Disclosure. So I think he's
there's an interesting another nugget of information about him. So there's a book called The 37th Parallel, written by Chuck Zukowski. It's about all the UFO sightings, all the paranormal activity that happens on the 37th parallel.
Which we're like basically on in St. Louis. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing.
It goes all the way, across.
It goes across the whole country.
Yeah, across the whole country, but even
the world,
even around the world. But he wrote a book on. They were turning the book into a movie because this is back when I used to go to the MUFON meetings. Chuck Zukowski, his sister was the chief investigator here, and she would lead the meetings. And his brother, he would come and speak. He actually did a show on the Travel Channel called Alien Highway, which is actually the best, probably one of the best shows I've seen.
It was amazing.
Yeah, and they canceled it after the first season because they were getting into real stuff. They were uncovering real stuff.
Where is it watchable now anywhere?
Yeah,
that first season.
Yeah, I'm sure
online. I think you can.
But what I was getting at was that Robert Downey Jr. They were making it into a movie. They had to rewrite the script like 10 times. It kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Mm-hmm. But Robert Downey Jr. wanted to play the main character. Like he was like adamant about it. He was like pestering them. Like they were still like auditioning other people. And he's like, you don't understand. I want to play this part. He wanted to be like in that movie for some reason. And the whole pandemic happened and I haven't heard anything since. So
interesting.
Yeah.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, but he was like whatever I'm trying to say. He was trying to be part of that movie.
I feel like he's in the know. I feel like he's like a white hat working in Hollywood and like doing his own thing.
Yeah.
I feel that too, yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna start wrapping this up, guys. It's going for almost 2 hours now.
Woo. I got it pulled up now if you want to know a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, please. Actually, I was gonna please do.
Yeah. Okay, so drone swarms in Gaza, fish-like underwater drones.
Aww.
Yeah.
Wait, fish-like underwater drones. That's like the Boeing made Poseidons. It's
navigation using magnetic fields. Let's see what else. Cyber attack, nuclear retaliation. Chinese military harvesting genetic data. Biden vows action over cyber attacks, and NASA's hunting for alien megastructures. There's a lot more, but we'll leave it there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Those are actually all extremely fascinating topics. Like I have to tune in tomorrow night now. Guys, that's at 8. It's our time zone.
Our time.
Yeah. What time? Your
Central.
time? What time for you?
6
Alana?
p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
8
Woohoo,
Central.
Space Force News.
Yeah.
Woo.
Guys, well, we have to make sure to tune into that one. It sounds pretty good. A lot of stuff to cover. All right. Thank you guys for coming on and doing this.
Yeah.
This has been a lot of
Yeah.
fun. You know,
Thanks for hosting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Been
you
a
for
blast.
hosting it. Always good hanging out with you guys. I look so forward to seeing you in Sedona. It's going to be such a party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Indeed.
very excited. I can't wait. And I can't wait for Aaron to get the vibes.
Yeah.
The Sedona
Vibes.
experience.
Yeah, the vibe. Get
Vibes.
high on the
Yes.
vibes, man.
I
It's
can't
all
wait.
about the vibes. I'm waiting
So-
for the dance parties and the swimming.
I was
really
gonna say
excited
we'll have
about
to go swimming and we'll have to
Yeah.
do the sky watch after one of the
Yeah.
nights.
it. Yes, CE5 guys,
I want
for
to-
sure.
Wait, Aaron, what food are you bringing to New Earth?
Yeah, what's he bringing?
I'm gonna go with ice cream. Also, I'm gonna copy.
Ice
'Cause
cream.
I'm gonna copy you, Alara.
Because you could bring all the flavors you want.
That's a good choice. You know, if you eat
Smart.
regular ice cream, that's a good choice. I guess. Yeah.
Well,
I
then-
grew up obsessed with ice cream. I mean, I still love it, but
Then
I
I would-
used to eat it,
I could
like,
change
all
mine
the
to
time.
pizza then if you ate unlimited toppings. Like it's almost cheating.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Well, ramen's a great choice then because you can just add anything to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like in jail.
guys are
they-
all
they
winners.
use Doritos
Oh, yeah.
to flavor the ramen in jail.
There you go.
Oh, that's so funny. I had all the topics for Space Force News written right here in front of me. I just had something sitting on it. I'm so challenged, guys. Like, it's like
You're more
seriously,
organized.
like I'm just woo, yeah, just wee.
That's funny.
That's life.
I don't blame you. There's a lot going on. It's hard to
Wow.
catch up and stay present with everything right now.
Yeah, we're trying
Yeah.
to keep up, make sure
Yeah.
the event's ready to go. Everything's
Yep.
going smoothly though. We have everything on locked.
Yay.
It's all locked in.
Parties,
So all we
Sedona
have to do is show up and do our best to like make it a nice
Yeah.
container and
Vibes.
take good care of all the noobs too who don't know what our kind of conferences are like too, and just like
Yeah.
Dropped a
You
crystal.
keep dropping it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's slippery. So guys, don't forget, grab a ticket, come hang out with us. We're speaking Friday night. It's going to be amazing. You heard everything that's going on there. If you've never been to Sedona, that's all the more reason to come.
yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. We have ESETI coming up first, and then straight to Sedona. It's going to be, we're going to be gone for a while, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you, Phil Christopher,
2
for
weeks
the
straight.
donation. Thank you all.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks to all the mods
you.
for throwing the links in there. Everybody who threw us a donation. I'm sorry to the questions that we missed. I knew there was some flying by.
Can I make one more comment?
Please do.
I am so proud of Alexis and Jayse for putting together a conference
Yes.
and
Yes.
stepping out into a totally new dynamic for them. And they're both just super awesome people, and that I'm honored to be able to know. And I'm so grateful to have Alexis doing the space weather on Space Force News. And I just love these two beings, just like I love these other two beings here that I don't know. You know how I get in my heart chakra sometimes, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Thank you.
love, yeah.
No, I'm so
I'm
glad.
excited
you.
to see you guys. Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that, Alara, because I actually thought about saying something similar earlier today, and I forgot to write it down, and I just slipped my mind. But yeah, you guys,
Take all the
Yeah.
accolades.
thank you so much for putting this conference on.
Thank you,
Seriously,
guys.
like
Thanks, guys. It's seriously our pleasure. I don't even think about it as like our event. It's more, it's got its own consciousness, its own life, and we're all going to create it.
Yeah.
We're all going to co-create it ourselves. And I'm just
Co-creating.
so
Yeah.
excited.
nice. Yeah. Well, we appreciate you because you obviously created that space for all of us to gather. So
Thank you, guys.
you
I
did
appreciate
play a
that.
role. Thank you, UFO Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
I'll never forget the first time I met UFO Mark at ESETI. He's like, "Hey, Tyler, what's
He's like
up?" I'm like,
The nicest
he's
guy
like,
ever.
I'm Mark. I'm like, he's like
Mark's
UFO
great.
Mark. I'm like, oh, you got
Nice.
And quick
Yeah.
reminder to people watching, 10% discount right now just for you guys watching the show on the Family of Light passes for both the 3-day in-person passes and also the live stream. So
Right.
if you were gonna, put off getting the live stream pass until like the day before, you could save 10% if you get it now. So it's a good
So
good deal.
It's a great deal.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Christina.
Thank you, Christina. Love.
I'm so excited to meet all the friends too. I love meeting
Yeah.
new friends in the physical third dimension, the humans. I love it. It's fun. I'm
Yes.
excited. Yes, Alara's getting excited. Okay. Mhm.
All right. I think that's it. We're gonna
Okay.
wrap it up. Guys, don't forget, we have some great merch. CGI Joe gets you 15% off Teespring. Journey to Truth 10 gets you 10 or 15, 10%. No,
Whatever
10,
it is.
it's 10% off.
Something.
10% off.
10% off of the CBD, Hopewell Farm CBD, with
Woo.
Jayse and Alexis.
Thanks, Sweeter Bug.
Thank you.
Best CBD on the planet.
Yeah.
It is.
It-
It
yeah.
seriously is, guys.
Mhm.
Heart-based.
It's amazing.
All right, guys. I think we're gonna go ahead and shut this down unless anyone has a donation for us. So,
Keep the video going as long as they're rolling in.
Yes, goodbye.
good night,
Thank you, Tyler and
everybody.
Aaron,
Love
again
you.
so much
prom wave.
for hosting this. And you guys are such great hosts and
Yes,
hosting these
thank you
group
so much
discussions.
for all your help.
You guys rock.
Our
Appreciate
pleasure.
that. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you guys for the conference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hope to
can't-
make
Good
you
night,
proud.
fam.
All right. Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.